Bansou Sentai Kizunager, Bond 21, the Kizuna Slayer and the Dragonic Warrior of Courage, Kizuna Crimson. The story begins in the spacecraft known as Shred Dawn. The Bonded King has hired two new executives named Zoku Racer, the Boso Bonder, and Wizardsoul, the Dark Magic Bonder, to take the Ender Mate's place after they were destroyed by the Kizunagers, as they present the Bonded King to their first Kizuna Slayer known as the Ender Dragon to hunt down the Kizunagers to destroy them for good. But they weren't aware that a time vortex opens up in the city of Japan as a Crimson-like ranger comes out and began their search to seek help from the Kizunagers. Meanwhile, in another world, Togo Asagaki, Kizuna Red, and Lowji Mist, Kizuna Night, are having a duel with each other, as it was Lowji's idea to have a rematch since he feels embarrassed that he lost the first duel to Togo when he used the Maximum Kizuna Kaiser's Great Bond Sword as a giant fan to blow him away and almost killing him. As Togo and Lowji pull out their bond plates and inserts them into their Kizuna braces to transform into Kizuna Red and Kizuna Night to begin their duel, since it's an even fight now than last time when Lowji didn't rely on bond energy back then. Yujiro, or villain, Kizuna Magus, is confused about Lowji demanding a rematch since she thought he and Togo have found closure after their battle against the Demon Queen. But Princess Teltina, Kizuna Rise, is happy for Lowji for growing closer with Togo since he had a hard time getting along with other people. Just then, the duel was interrupted by the Ender Dragon, who managed to track down the Kizunagers as Zoku Racer and Wizardsoul introduce themselves to them as they order the Ingekons to attack the Kizunagers until Yujiro and Teltina pull out their bond plates and inserts them into their Kizuna braces to transform into Kizuna Magus and Kizuna Rise to assist Togo and Lowji to take down the Bansouenders. So now Togo summons his Kizuna Beast, Friend D, to face against the Ender Dragon, while Lowji, Teltina, and Yujiro deal with the Bansouenders on their own, which led to him getting defeated so easily after the Ender Dragon performs the Ender Courage Fire to weaken the Kizuna Beast's heat shield a bit to give it the opportunity to knock it down for good. After the rest of the Kizunagers have managed to defeat the Ingekons and charge at Zoku Racer and Wizardsoul to take them down for good, they were attacked by a Bond-Ki monster known as the Rijinbaki, who tells the Kizunagers that he seeks to retrieve Lowji's sword to give to the Bonded King, as he explains that time has been altered and he inherited the Ranger Reject's ultimate powers. But Lowji refused to hand over the hero's sword to the Bansouenders as he began to charge at the Rijinbaki to cleanse him from his dark bonds. But he doesn't notice that the Ender Dragon was about to finish him off from behind, which led to Teltina to take the hit for Lowji as she falls to the ground. So now Zoku Racer and Wizardsoul took Teltina hostage and demands the Kizunagers to hand over the hero's sword to them if they want to save Teltina from harm's way, as they teleported away from the scene, leaving the Kizunagers in a major situation in their hands. In the Avalost Castle, Togo and Yujiro explains the problem to Emperor Goddess, Teltina's father, about the Bansouenders holding Teltina hostage in order for them to get their hands on the hero's sword, while Lowji is panicking in rage in the background. The royal guards tells the Kizunagers that someone wanted to see them and help them save Teltina from the Bansouenders, as the person revealed himself as Souichi Ichigami, Kizuna Crimson, the warrior of Dragonic Courage, who explains to the Kizunagers that he's from another dimension where he is Togo's older brother, but he's a clone created by Professor Betrays to destroy the Kizuna 5 after the death of Kizuna Silver. But this led to Togo going rogue and left the Kizuna 5 to get his revenge, and Souichi takes his place as the new leader of the Kizuna 5. This made Togo and his friends surprised that to meet a ranger from another dimension who fights to justice like they do. But this made Togo curious about what happened to Souichi's version of Kizuna Red, since he did met other various versions of himself that Professor Patchwork recruited across the Kizuna Red verse. Back at Shred Dawn, Wizardsoul orders Zoku Racer to keep an eye on Teltina to make sure she doesn't escape, as he tags along with Rijinbaki to pilot the Ender Dragon to hunt down the Kizunagers. But then Teltina consents that the bonded king's new executives look out for each other just like the Ender mates before their demise, which gives Teltina an idea to get out of this situation as she starts to pamper Zoku Racer to understand his feelings better, since she believes that the Bonders are more than just monsters. This made Zoku Racer fall in love with Teltina since he never experienced romance after the New World Daybreak and heard stories about Teltina's kindness and her adventures as a demi-human princess. A few moments later, the Ender Dragon began to spread fire around the kingdom to lure the Kizunagers out of hiding to get their hands on the hero's sword. But then Togo and his friends showed up at the scene to save the people from the Bansouenders as they pull out their bond plates and inserts them into their Kizuna braces to transform into the Kizunagers, Red, Crimson, Knight, and Magus, to battle against the Ingekons and the Ryujin Banki, while Togo and Yihira calls upon their Kizuna beasts, Friendly and Magus Squid, to take down the Ender Dragon to prevent it from doing any more damage around the kingdom. Lowji pulls out the Shinkenger Legend Bond Plate and inserts it into his Kizuna brace to perform Shinkenred's flaming dance to take down the Ingekons, while Souichi summons his Courage Dragonic Claw to defend himself against Wizardsoul as he performs the Courage Kizuna Fire Bomber to shoot out a large ball of fire at Wizardsoul to take him down. But this led to the Ryujin Banki to recognize Souichi and leaps out the Ender Dragon in rage as he wants to destroy him for ruining his life. This made Souichi shocked to find out that the Ryujin Banki is actually his world's Togo Asagaki, who accepted his dark bonds by the Bansouenders to get revenge on Souichi for replacing him back in his world. So now the Ryujin Banki managed to knock down both Lowji and Souichi as he manages to retrieve the hero's sword from the ground. But then the sword's power started to corrupt the Banki's dark bond energy, which transformed him into a gigantic dragon to burn everything to the ground to get his revenge on Souichi for ruining his life.